Hello, my name is Jeremy, and welcome to the first video in this series that I am creating. Now, this is a step out of boundaries for me. I usually on YouTube don't go into my private life very much. So this is kind of awkward for me or strange, but I feel like there's not a whole lot of YouTube videos about the PKU experience or what it's about, and I felt like this was the time for me to show people what it's like. So from this series, I'm going to be showing you how to get back into the PKU lifestyle, as well as what steps I am taking in this journey. As of today, I made the first step in my journey and went to my general physician, and I had him get a referral for me, and that is sent off to a dietitian, a professional dietitian that I had seen as a kid. I should mention I am 27 years old. I was born with a genetic disease called PKU, phenylketonuria. Basically, I can't break down protein, and I can't break down a certain part of protein, and it gets a buildup, and it can be really bad for you. So if you don't follow it as a kid, it can lead to some really bad things, and possibly even death. Now, obviously, I'm not dead, and I'm 27, so obviously I did something right at some point in my life. And from age, newborn to around 16 or so, I had followed my diet right on the T. No issues. However, once I turned 16, I kind of lost my way. A lot of things happened, and I really didn't follow it for the most part. I should say I probably stopped following it a long time before then, but who's really counting, right? Anyways, so my goal from now until the remainder of my life is to remain on the PKU diet. Now, this is not a journey that I am particularly looking forward to. There are a lot of foods that I really enjoy eating that are just not going to be able to do. Now, I'm not saying that I don't enjoy eating a PKU diet. I enjoy everything about it. There's nothing wrong with it. I just also enjoy other foods. So, by choosing to do this, and really I'm more or less forced. It's not a physical force, like I'm not being forced to do something, but mentally I know that the decision I'm making to go down this path again is a decision I should have made years ago, and I should have never detoured down the path I took. However, we can have regrets in life, but I'm not going to. So, we've started the journey. Now, what is the path going to look like from here moving forward? My path is going to be getting in touch with my old pediatrician. I realize I'm 27, but I don't know who else to contact. So I'm contacting the guy I know who I trust. Because trust is a big thing with me. I need to be able to trust somebody so I know they can take care of me properly. So here in Oregon, they have a little a mandatory insurance thing where if you have insurance in Oregon, you have the mandatory right to formula, which is required by the PKU diet. I'm sure as most of you know, if you have PKU, or if you're a parent to a child. Usually, there's some places that I know of that require you to be able to get formula. And if they don't, it's really stupid. You should get out of that state. Also in this state, there's a mandatory thing if you have insurance that they buy you medical food. Now, medical food sounds like, ooh, medical food. But in reality, it's just like normal food, just not bad. So, that's what I'm looking forward to. That's my end goal, is to get to that. That way I don't have to pay for that. I'm not a person that you say is rich, got money. I'm a very poor person. I don't have money at all to my name. I'm probably one of the poorest guys you know. Now, I do live on my own, and I do have a nice apartment, you know, and I'm not like struggling for money. However, that's because of my PKU. When I was, I think, a year old, I was granted the right of having Social Security, or supplemental income, and I love it. It's just awesome. I can't believe I've gotten it. It's solely because of my PKU. Now, I still have that after turning 18, so which means I'm still living off of that income. At this current time, I do not have a job. I don't, make a living, because the way I look at it is I dropped out of high school, not a great decision, and I learned that I could go work a minimum wage job and get paid $15 or was it $12 an hour, and I would make the same amount of money I'm making now, except for I can't afford, to go to a dentist twice a year or whatever. I can't afford to go to a general physician. I can't afford to go to a dietitian. All these things that are kind of required for having PKU. So I made the physical determination in my mind that I'm not going to go get that type of a job. However, I've been stepping up in my life recently. About 2 years ago, I decided that I was going to work towards getting my GED, and I did so. I worked my butt off for a year in a GED program at the local college, and I got my GED at the end, it was a year ago now. From there, I started college at the age of 26, and I started last fall, I think it is. Winter, excuse me. Started winter term, and then I went to now, and I'm now currently on summer break, and I will be continuing my degree. I'm going for computer network operations. It's going to be a great degree, and hopefully I can get a job. Now, again, I chose my degree with something that I enjoy doing, and I also chose that degree to make sure I made enough money that if I lose my Social Security, or I lose any of my insurance, or lose anything that's covering my stuff, that I will have the ability to pay for that. Because I really have to think about things like PKU causes a lot of issues. Being off PKU causes that much more issues. So when it comes down to it, a lot of the issues I've had between when I dropped out of high school to now have all been symptoms of PKU. And it's taken me many years to realize this, but I have learned, and I guess I've matured in that way. So it really comes down to that. Now, with that said, in this journey, I'm going to be showing you guys, obviously, my path. And I've already started off by stating that I got my reference. I called in today. I called into the dietitian and I said, hey, call me back when I'm ready to schedule an appointment. Now, I have an issue here because the office for this dietitian is in Portland. I don't live in Portland. I live about 100 miles away or so. So that's a long distance. I don't have a car. I don't have the money to pay for a car. I don't have the money to pay for gas. I don't have so these things all come into play. So now I have to figure out how to either get up to Portland, or hopefully they come down here to come see me. And that's how it was when I was a kid. They would come down here like once a year, and I would go see them. So I'm thinking that I'll probably take a trip up there, is what I'm thinking I'll do, but we'll see. It really depends on my school schedule this next term. So once that gets done, I'm going to basically figure out what type of PKU I have. From what I've been told from my parents, is I have the classic PKU, which means it sucks to be you. That's pretty much the terminology for it. It's probably one of the worst types of PKU you can have. It really limits what you can have. However, I personally don't know, and my parents don't know how much fee I can have. So I need to figure that out at some point. And I hate giving blood, so I'm going to have to give blood to figure that out. Plus, they're going to want to know what my fee level is and all that good stuff. And that's fun because they draw blood. They don't just prick your finger like I did as a kid. I mean, I could just prick my finger, but you want to be more conclusive than that. So, once we get that done, I'm going to get all that information that I need to know. And from there, I'm going to hopefully figure out if I can go through them to get food, because when I was a kid, living in Oregon, I would call up a company, or my parents would call up, and then they would give me a sheet of like all the food that you can get. And I would just say I want 7 of these, 12 of these, 16 of these. And I would just order all my food, and it would show up on my front porch. It was awesome. However, I would love to do that again, but I don't know if that's the case. And if that's not the case, then I have to go to Cambrook Foods, Nutritia, I think is the name of the company, and Aprton, and all those other companies, and then fill out an insurance form and have that sent to the insurance, and have my dietitian sign a referral for it, so that way, basically, they're forced at that point. Hopefully I don't have to go through that, because that's a pain in the ass, and I don't really want to do that for all the companies. It's just annoying, and hopefully they just have it all in one place. If not, I'm still going to go through the process of doing it, because that's what just has to be done. So, that's the next step, is getting food. Once I get the food into place, the hard part starts, because that means then I have to start eating right. That means I have to cut out the most burritos. I love going down to Chipotle, getting myself a rice burrito, or a chicken burrito with extra rice, it's just so good, or pizza, I've had the pizza that you can have with low protein. Nothing. It has nothing on normal pizza. For the last, 10 years, I've been, cooking for myself. And I haven't cooked low protein stuff. Now, get me here. Like I said this before, I love the low protein pasta. As a matter of fact, I had some, I still think I have some in my dad's closet from back when I was a kid, which is kind of crazy. Still good. I've cooked it before, just fine. Which probably shouldn't have, but hey, whatever. It's one of those things, like, I don't dislike the food, most of it, but I do dislike some of the food. So, it's just like, I just need to get into it, and I'm taking advice from people online, and it's just like, learn to cook something that's interesting. Keep yourself, distracted, I guess. So if you want something, have something similar on hand so that when you get to it. Anyways, I'm pretty much rambling at this point. This is pretty much where I'm at. I think when I called in today, they said it's going to be about a week to 2 weeks until the referral goes through, and once that goes through, I then need to set an appointment. So I think what I'll do is I'll make another video once the referral goes through, and I get an appointment, and we'll make an update from there. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this video series. I know this was a really long rambling video, but videos should be getting more interesting from now on, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.